Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, dear students. I am Dr. Kaleem, and today we are going to discuss about another very important topic of biochemistry, proteins. We will discuss about proteins, their sources, classifications, and their important functions of protein. And in next video, we will discuss globular proteins, then fibrous proteins, and we will discuss in detail all these very important topics. But before moving towards our topic, my dear students, I would like to again recall the mission of our Asian Medical Institute. That mission of our institute is to provide you quality of education and is to prepare you for your licensing exams. So dear students, please be committed, work hard and focus on your studies. So after your graduation you face no difficulty by passing your PMDC and MCI exams. And please remember that I have come forward and I have prepared these topics from multiple textbooks. I have tried my best to collect quality of material to provide you for your future exams. So please revise these topics again and again and don't skip even a single second of these lectures. Very important information, and you should must watch completely, thoroughly, and then you should must write it down in your notes. This is a way to memorize the things. And then ultimately you should explore these topics from your textbooks. And I have told you people that you should must use textbooks of international editions and latest updated editions, not older ones. So now at least you have a gateway that how you can study and you can read these topics from your textbooks. Because you know that I have explained the important themes of these proteins, globular proteins, and then amino acids, and in anatomy also. And in clinical sciences I will also explain all these communicable and non-communicable disease. So at least I am giving a way that how and what to study and what not to study from your textbooks. So in this way, if you will follow my guidelines, if you will watch these video lectures, you will make the notes, you will write it down the important MCQs. The especially important MCQs point which I have mentioned in my videos. You should write it down in boxes. And then when you will read textbook, and then you will underline important MCQs point from your textbooks. And then you will revise again and again. You will discuss with your friends. And when you are going to share your knowledge with your friends. So this is the best way of learning. And ultimately you have to appear in my test sessions. And then you are prepared for your exam. You can go and you can conquer your dreams, please. Okay. Thank you. And now we will move forward and we will discuss proteins. Very important topic. Dear students, proteins are basically most abundant organic molecules of the body. And most abundant, you can say that almost 50% of dry body cellular weight is made up of proteins. Most abundant organic molecules almost 50% of dry body cellular weight is made up of proteins. Okay? And then these proteins are also a good source of energy for you. So let me discuss what are the basically sources of proteins. Sources. So in good sources, fish, then meat, then pulses, eggs. So these are all and so on. These are all good sources of protein, rich sources of proteins. And from protein, 1 gram of protein basically gives you 4 kilocalories. So, and how much calories basically present in carbohydrates? Also 4 kilocalories. So these are also important MCQs for you. 1 gram of protein (4 kilocalories), 1 gram carbs 4 kilocalories. But carbohydrates are immediate source of energy, okay. Then fats, 1 gram fat, and these are rich source of energy, 9 kilocalories, okay. Then 1 gram of alcohol give you 7 kilocalories. So write it down please. These are also very important MCQs. That proteins are building blocks of the body, source of energy. Almost 50% of your dry body cellular weight is made up of protein and most abundant organic molecules. And then proteins, rich sources are fish, meat, pulses, eggs, and energy. 1 gram of protein gives you 4 kilocalories. But rich source of energy are the fats, and immediate source of energy when you are suffering from hypoglycemia, at that time you are giving your patient dextrose, water, Ringer lactate. So this is also a glucose. So this is the immediate source of energy, and these are the carbohydrates, okay. Now we will discuss chemical composition of proteins. Chemical composition. Chemical composition of proteins. In chemical composition, most abundant in proteins are the carbons, almost 50 to 60%, and then nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and sulfur. So these are the chemicals which present in the proteins. This is the chemical composition. Then we will discuss the classification of the proteins, and if you will memorize these important classes of the proteins, the way I am going to classify, then you will easily understand the functions of the proteins. Classification of the proteins. Classification. So in classification, number first are the simple proteins. In simple protein there are albumin and fibrinogens. Albumin and fibrinogen. And this albumin, you can write that this is also most abundant protein in your serum. Most abundant protein in serum, and this albumin is basically produced by liver hepatocytes. And most abundant protein in your body is the collagen. These are two important MCQs. Most abundant protein in your body is the collagen, which is structural protein, and most abundant protein in your serum is the albumin. Okay, write it down. These are important MCQs. And this fibrinogen help in basically blood clotting. This is also called as hemostatic protein. Okay, then after simple protein, complex proteins. Second classification. Complex proteins. In complex protein there are glycoproteins and lipoproteins. Glycoproteins and lipoproteins. And lipoproteins we will discuss in detail when we will study the lipids, because lipoproteins are basically also made up of cholesterol, phospholipids, and triglycerides. Okay, and low density lipoproteins are very dangerous for your body, leading cause of the ischemic heart disease. When there is too much low density lipoproteins in your body, lead to the blockage of the arteries, atherosclerosis, then hypertension, stroke, ischemic heart disease, lot of complications. And major risk factor is the obesity, inactive lifestyle, diabetes mellitus, lot of other causes, smoking, hypertension. So we will discuss lipoproteins in detail in lipids. Okay, so these are the complex proteins basically. Then number 3, Immune proteins. Immune proteins. Immune proteins are basically globulins which boost your immunity, and nowadays you people need immunity to fight against COVID-19. Okay, so use multiple vitamins like vitamin C, vitamin A, which are antioxidant. Vitamin D you can also use. These are good antioxidant and immunity boosters. Okay, immune proteins, globulins. And then number 4, genetic proteins. And genetic proteins are the histones. Histones. And number 5, contractile proteins. And you know very well that contractile proteins are actin and myosin. Actin plus myosin. And then number 6, regulatory proteins. Regulatory proteins are the hormones and enzymes. And then, dear students, number 7, carrier proteins. Yes, very important. And carrier protein, hemoglobin, you know, and we will discuss hemoglobin in globular protein, very important. Hemoglobin and fibrinogen. These are carrier proteins. And then number 8, after carrier protein, homeostatic proteins. In homeostatic proteins, there is albumin. Albumin is produced by hepatocytes. Produced by liver cells, and function is to maintain and to keep fluid within the blood vessels. If you people are having liver disorders like chronic liver disease due to hepatitis, and especially in liver cirrhosis, when there is no production of the albumin from your hepatocytes, so leakage of the fluid will lead to the accumulation in the extracellular species. So that is called as edema, or in severe cases ascites, in accumulation of too much fluid in the peritoneal cavity. So albumin basically help to keep fluid within the blood vessels. Okay, so this is the most abundant protein in your serum. Okay, and most abundant protein in your body is the collagen. And then number 9 is the this is homeostatic and this is hemostatic protein. Hemostatic proteins which help in the blood clotting, and fibrinogen. Yes, this protein help in the blood clotting. So again we will recall the classifications: simple protein, complex protein, simple albumin, fibrinogen, and complex protein, glycoprotein, lipoprotein, immune protein, globulin, genetic protein, histones, contractile protein, actin, myosin, regulatory proteins, enzyme and hormones, carrier proteins, hemoglobin and fibrinogen, and then homeostatic protein, albumin, and then hemostatic proteins, fibrinogen. And then another classification, last class, number 10, structural proteins. Yes, structural proteins. Collagen and elastin. Collagen and elastin. These are the major structural proteins, okay, collagen and elastin, and collagen is the most abundant protein in your body. Okay, so now my dear students, we will discuss the functions of protein. Now I think that after this classification you will face no difficulty while explaining the functions of the proteins. Okay, so in functions now you can say that proteins are the most abundant organic compounds, sources of energy, help in the growth of the body, help to maintain the immunity, also help help in the blood clotting, also help in the regulatory functions like enzymes, hormones, also carrier function which is hemoglobin, which transport oxygen and nutrient, and then myoglobin also is a carrier protein which basically present in your skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle, but hemoglobin also only present in the red blood cells. And then homeostatic function, and then proteins also help in the formation of the receptor. Okay, so these are the all important, and maintaining of the acid base balance. So these are the very important and high yield functions of the proteins. So please write it down, all classifications, and in addition you can now read from your textbooks also, okay, then underline important points from your textbooks. Now we will discuss another important protein which is myoglobin. Myoglobin, also a carrier protein, and this protein present only in your skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle. Myoglobin, very important. Myoglobin, symbol of myoglobin is MB, or you can write carrier protein which present in your skeletal muscle, also a carrier protein similar to hemoglobin, but hemoglobin is tetrameric and this is monomeric. Okay, so also a carrier protein present in your skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle, present in skeletal muscle plus cardiac muscle, and bind with iron and oxygen also. Okay, basically major carrier protein in your body is the hemoglobin, and hemoglobin is oxygen carrying conjugated protein which present in the red blood cells, and this protein basically myoglobin is only present in skeletal muscle and in cardiac muscle. So in case of severe activity, when you people are having lot of acidic environment, too much carbon dioxide during exercise, when hemoglobin is not doing much function to transport oxygen and nutrition in your muscles, tissues, at that time this myoglobin is functional, and then it gives you people oxygen and iron. Okay, so but in case of injury of skeletal muscles, in case of the injury of the myocardium, in case of the myocardial infarction, this myoglobin released from the muscles and it enters into the blood stream. So if myoglobin is now present in the blood stream, it means there is indication of the muscle injury. Remember, basically this protein present in your skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle, and it binds with iron and oxygen. I have told you that major basically carrier protein is only hemoglobin which present in red blood cells. But if myoglobin released from the muscles and enter into blood stream, it means there is injury of muscles now. In case of the rhabdomyolysis, in case of severe muscle injury, that if this protein in case of injury, let's suppose now we will discuss cardiac muscle injury के जो myocardial infarction है, in case of myocardial infarction, This protein basically present in myocardial tissue also. So let's suppose a patient with chest pain, severe chest pain. Chest pain, you people know that chest pain of the myocardial infarction radiate to the this left medial side of the arm, shoulder, tip of the shoulder because of the intercostobrachial nerve. And then patient also has having associated symptoms like nausea, vomiting, hypotension, diaphoresis. So if you are suspecting that patient is having myocardial infarction and due to blockage of the coronary artery, and there are a lot of risk factors of the myocardial infarction, ischemic heart disease, maybe diabetes, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, smoking. So at that time, first you will ask the patient for the ECG. तब आपने क्या करना होता है, ECG करवाते हो पहले. उसके बाद आपने मायोग्लोबिन का लेवल भी चेक कर लिया होना होता है कि मायोग्लोबिन अगर सीरम में रेज है, if myoglobin level is raised in the serum, it means there is injury to your myocardium, that basically it present in your myocardial tissue. मायोकार्डियम, अब मायोकार्डियम इंजर्ड हो चुका है, उसका नेक्रोसिस हो रहा है, इन्फाक्ट हो गया, क्योंकि ब्लड सप्लाई क्या हो चुकी है, ब्लॉक हो चुकी है. तो दिस इज हाईली एरोबिक टिश्यू, तो मायोग्लोबिन रिलीज होकर सीरम में आ जाएगा. सो इफ सीरम मायोग्लोबिन इज रेस्ड, इट्स मीन मसल इंजरी एंड स्पेशली स्केलेटल मसल और कार्डिक मसल. बट दिस इज not, you can say that, diagnostic marker of the myocardial infarction. Diagnostic markers आप लोगों को और करवाने होते हैं, like most significant an investigation of chest for the diagnosis of myocardial infarction are cardiac troponins. Okay, CKMB लेवल भी चेक कर लेते हैं, ECG भी करवाते हैं. तो लेकिन जो अर्लीस्ट एग्जाम में अगर आपको क्वेश्चन आता है, व्हाट इज द अर्लीस्ट मार्कर टू बी रेज्ड इन द सीरम आफ्टर myocardial infarction? So earliest marker will be the serum myoglobin, but the most specific investigation to diagnose myocardial infarction are the cardiac troponin, troponin I or troponin T. These are very important MCQs. ये आप लोग लिख लें कि earliest marker myocardial infarction के बाद सीरम में जो रेज होता है वो होता है myoglobin. Okay, but the most specific and the investigation of choice for the myocardial infarction are the cardiac troponins. Okay, then if you are having severe injury, let's suppose that after very intense hard exercise, if you are having muscle injuries, skeletal muscle injuries, so this myoglobin basically which is present in your skeletal muscle. Now in case of injury to skeletal muscle, this myoglobin release from the muscle and enter into the bloodstream, and then on reaching the kidneys, कि ये जो मायोग्लोबिन है आपका, ये जब आपके किडनीज तक पहुंच जाएगा, that if you are having injury of skeletal muscle, rhabdomyolysis, then myoglobin released from the muscle enter into the blood circulation. Okay, then on reaching the kidneys, it is very toxic for your kidneys. कि अगर मसल इंजरी हो चुका है तो मायोग्लोबिन मसल्स में से रिलीज होकर किधर आ जाएगा, ब्लड सर्कुलेशन में. अब जब किडनीज में आएगा तो किडनीज में ये एक्यूट रीनल फेलियर करवा सकता है, जो basically toxic product of myoglobin for your kidneys which lead to the necrosis of the renal epithelium is the ferrihamate. Myoglobin itself is not toxic. Remember, this is another important point for you, that myoglobin itself is not toxic for your kidneys. The toxic product of myoglobin is the ferrihamate. Toxic product of myoglobin is ferrihamate. So ferrihamate क्या करता है कि ये आपके किडनीज को डैमेज करता है. ओके, सो when there is more myoglobin in your blood circulation, more myoglobin will be secreted through urine. This is called as myoglobinuria. Okay, so if there is myoglobinuria or a raised level of myoglobin in serum, it means there is something wrong in your muscle rupture हो रहे हैं, injury है muscles का, क्योंकि मायोग्लोबिन नॉर्मली मसल्स में होता है, तो अगर वहाँ से रिलीज़ होकर ये ब्लड सर्कुलेशन में आएगा तो जब किडनीज़ में चला जाएगा तो ये किडनीज़ को डैमेज कराएगा। एंड विच प्रोडक्ट ऑफ मायोग्लोबिन इज टॉक्सिक फॉर योर किडनी? फेरी हमेट, एग्जाम में एमसीक्यूज पूछा जा सकता है। मायोग्लोबिन इटसेल्फ इज नॉट टॉक्सिक, ओके। एंड मायोग्लोबिन इज बेसिकली आल्सो अ कैरियर प्रोटीन, binds with iron and oxygen and present in your skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle. If myocardial infarction, in case of myocardial infarction, serum myoglobin will be raised, and this will be the earliest marker of the myocardial infarction, not specific. Specific and best investigation to diagnose myocardial infarction will be cardiac troponins. I hope you understood. Now we will discuss the structures of the protein. Structure of protein, okay. Primary structure of protein. Primary structure. First we will discuss primary structure of protein. So remember, primary structure of protein is due to sequence of amino acids. Primary structure of protein is due to sequence of amino acids, okay. And proteins are basically made up of amino acids, that is 20 amino acids combined to form proteins, okay. So primary structure of protein is due to the sequence of the amino acids. And then secondary structure of protein is due to hydrogen binding of peptide chains, is due to हाइड्रोजन। ये आप लोगों ने याद रखना है चूंकि एमसीक्यूज आ सकता है। हाइड्रोजन बाइंडिंग ऑफ पेप्टाइड चेन्स। एंड देन नंबर 3, टर्शियरी स्ट्रक्चर। Tertiary structure of protein is due to protein is due to basically sequence of the combination of the hydrophobic amino acids, is due to sequence of the hydrophobic amino acids, okay. And then last one is the quaternary structure. Quaternary structure of protein. Quaternary structure of protein is due to basically polypeptide chain, is due to combination of the polypeptide chains, okay. Okay, primary structure is due to the sequence of the amino acids. Secondary structure is due to the hydrogen bonding of peptide chains. Tertiary structure is due to hydrophobic amino acid, and then last one, quaternary structure of protein due to polypeptide chain. So dear students, this was our review of proteins, and in next lecture we will discuss globular proteins in detail, and we will discuss hemoglobin and hemoglobinopathies, and then we will discuss fibrous proteins, collagen, elastin, and related disorders. I hope you understood. Thank you for your concentration. Stay blessed.